bit, but right now, here this weekend in Los Angeles, starting today through the 22nd, over 750 athletes, all ages, representing 10 different countries, will be here in town. An international competition throughout the weekend, a little flag football. The CEO of USA Football, Scott Hallenbeck, is joining us right now. Scott, thanks for coming on. How you feeling this morning?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you, Scott. So tell us a little bit about what's going on, what we can see, who's playing, which 10 countries are going to be here, and kind of our first look at international flag football, which we know is coming up in the Olympics here in L.A. in just a few years.
Exactly. So USA Football, as the national governing body, is building out the pathway. So our summer series is a great reflection of that. It's a tiered set of competitions, starting at sort of the lower tier. It's what we call our select teams and our select bowl. So we have what we call talent ID camps all over the country throughout the year, and they lead to identifying the best athletes at the 12 and under, 14 and under, 16 and under, 18 and under, and 23 and under. And then we bring all those athletes together here. We put them on teams. So it's a fairly heavy exercise to put that together and to have these athletes come together under new coaches and just demonstrate that they're elite athletes at every level. They play amongst other teams in their age groups. So it gives us a chance to sort of take a second look at them, continue their development. And then from there, we have our Junior International Cup working our way up. That is 15 and 17 and under boys and girls. They're playing some of those 10 countries that you're mentioning. Mm-hmm. So great international competition, really the next set of elite athletes that would then otherwise be heading up to our adult men's and women's that are also here under what we call the International Bowl. And then they're competing against really some of the elite teams in the world that very well could be, one of the 6 or 8 teams with us competing in the Olympics in 28. So it's just a great sort of example of that development pipeline and our high-performance plan all coming together. Great to be here in L.A., frankly, because, we're getting acclimated. We're learning all about, everything L.A. And really, frankly, getting an advantage on our competitors around the world. So, it's just a terrific event showcasing truly elite flag football.
Scott, you guys used to be not part of the Olympic selection, right? You've been with them since 2005. And flag football would be, you played as a little kid before you go play Pop Warner, or you played in flag football in junior high for PE, let alone to get to the Olympics. How did you get there?
Yeah, good question.
I got to say, I'm so glad you say that. I keep reminding people that while there's so much hype and excitement, rightfully so, and particularly on the girls and women's vertical, this is still an emerging sport. Like, it's stunning. And for quick history, I worked for the U.S. Olympic Committee way back in the 90s. I was actually, experienced the Dream Team and all that good stuff, so I've sort of good experience there. But anyway, we worked really hard as the International Federation. You're exactly right. Even in our own football development model, flag is like an entry sport to get kids comfortable in playing the sport, learning the skills. You're right. Intramurals is still, intramurals in college, beer drinking, have fun. It's adult weekend warrior stuff. But now we are working really hard to turn it into a truly elite sport. So USA Football works closely with the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, their sport development program, other national governing bodies, just really professional leagues, anyone we can align with that can help us understand a professional grade sport and how you develop that from literally nutrition, data, analytics, you name it, player development, movement skills, all this very sophisticated stuff that we're bringing to the sport to turn exactly what you just said, flag football as we used to know it, into a sport that's worthy of the global stage and certainly the Olympics. And last point, obviously terrific to have the NFL as a really engaged partner in all of this, all their NFL clubs. That's incredibly helpful because first we can learn a ton from them. And secondly, obviously, them behind it is really the sort of fuel that's driving this entire momentum. So it's sort of all these things coming together that's turning it into an elite sport.
Scott Hallenbeck is the CEO of USA Football. And I want to circle back to what you mentioned about the NFL there for a second, Scott, but I just want to make sure I heard what you said correctly. You were connected and involved with the Dream Team back in 92. Did I hear that right?
Well, so I worked for the U.S. Olympic Committee back then, so I at least got a loose experience with it, and understood how because you're probably going to go there, right? We have the NFL and the owners recently announced that NFL players are eligible, so that's super exciting, right? And I want to be clear because we have elite flag players now, elite coaches. We've been 6 consecutive gold medals, so we're very confident in the pipeline we're building and have currently. But look, obviously having the opportunity to work with NFL players is incredibly exciting and really sort of an embarrassment of riches. So we are working closely with the league office and ultimately the players themselves to figure out how do you make that transition. That's not easy, by the way. I mean, the one thing I always point out is, my counterparts at USA Basketball working with the NBA, right? The difference between NBA rules and they say FIBA rules, the International Federation, are different, but not that much different. The difference between tackle football and flag football are literally night and day. Yeah. Just start with literally no contact. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I know we're talking about truly elite athletes. I'm not naive. But still, it's going to take a little bit of time to help make that transition, and we're working through what exactly that will be. How do we help them do that? How do we do it as efficiently and effectively as possible with respect to their day job, right? The NFL season and calendar is almost year-round now. So how do we work all those things out? We're sort of in the midst of that, but super, super exciting.
Scott, right now it's 7-on-7 for the high school elite athletes going on, but this is different for flag. But I know that for the girls, high school flag football is exploded, especially here in Southern California. Mm-hmm. But the tournament you got going on this weekend, you have the Junior Cup with Australia, Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, Panama, and South Korea. I didn't know they played flag football in all those countries.
There you go. Yeah. So quickly, so in the Olympic movement, every sport has an international federation. So soccer's FIFA, basketball's FIBA, all these things. And in our case, it's IFAF, so International Federation of American Football. And believe it or not, some 70 countries around the world are members. Naturally, they're all sort of at different development stages, both tackle and flag. But to your point, the beauty of flag is it's super cost effective, super easy to develop, and it's relatively small numbers. We are 5-on-5, a 25 by 50 yard field. So just think about that relative to tackle, right? Half smaller than half the field. So you really have to, again, you have to make some pretty significant adjustments, even quarterback and receivers, right? It's working on timing and space and all those kinds of things. It's going to take a little time. And then defensively, boy, it's a big difference, right? You got to pull flags and guys are dipping and spinning. You can't jam. You can't touch a receiver. You got to run with them. So we're talking about super agile, super quick, fast players. It's high scoring. It's just very exciting. But I want to circle back real quick. Your point, it is incredible what California is doing. And particularly Southern California. We work closely with the Chargers and the Rams and really give them a ton of credit. What has happened with girls flag is just amazing. In my 30 years of being in sport, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything scale as fast as this. Wow. And I think it just speaks to the passion of quote-unquote football. And obviously, now girls and women having access and entree, and boy, are they capitalizing on it.
Scott Hallenbeck is the CEO of USA Football. They've got the USA Football Summer Series right here in Los Angeles this weekend. As we mentioned, 750 athletes, 10 different countries being represented, and the Olympics right around the corner, and flag football will be a big part of that. Scott, good talking with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, you nailed it. That girls flag football in high school is massive. Yeah. It's huge.
My daughter's going to be a sophomore, and is watched football a little bit. She's not watching it every weekend. She doesn't care about fans or anything like that. She's going to try out because her friends saw her in PE throw a football, and the coach was like, hey
come over here.
Because I taught her how I made sure she knew how to throw a spiral. Right. Now she's going to try out for the football team. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's terrific.
I'm like, you don't know anything about this. She's like, they told us they're going to teach us everything, which is great. Oh, no, she's throwing it.
That makes you and Travis football dads.
That's
go.
right.
Yeah.
As a PA guy and as a fourth-string quarterback parent, it was awesome. Exactly.
I'm curious if, you had to draw your ideal flag football quarterback, would it be Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Just the evasiveness. I know we've talked about it a bunch of times, and I wish we had Scott. If you had to choose between Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, who would you rather have as your quarterback?
Michael
Lamar
Vick.
Jackson.
Oh, but Murray's elusive too.
He's
So
super
elusive.
He's little.
But that's what you need in flag.
But not with the quarterback, right? You need to
Because
be
they
able
can
to
run.
see, but you can't run with the ball as a quarterback. You have to throw it.
Every single time
You
can't run it
can
off.
hand it to someone else to run it, but
And
the
you can invade a
you
flag.
can you can
yeah.
juke,
But you can do all those trick plays, the double reverses, all that other
nobody's
stuff.
catching Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson's 6'2" or 3. I'll take him.
And well, I think the difference
So
is
who's the little guys, man?
I don't think you have to have as tall as offensive linemen to see over.
Nah,
No,
because they're not really
but-
rushing.
If the athleticism is the same, big is always better. If it's the same, if it were Kyler Murray or Peyton Manning, it's Kyler Murray. But it's not. Lamar Jackson moves like Kyler Murray, but he's big like a quarterback.
Man,
yeah.
You're going to get Kyler Murray spinning around. You can't grab that flag.
You're not
He's
going to
little.
catch Lamar
I remember
either.
when I played, we used to count 1 Mississippi, 2
Yeah,
Mississippi,
yeah.
and then you can rush a
That's
quarterback.
it. That's it.
You okay?
Hey,
One
come on,
Michoacan, two
yeah,
Michoacan.
okay.
Get Mississippi, get out of
Mississippi.
All right. That's so good. We're reacting.